All right, welcome to this week's Points and Miles report on traveling on everyday spend. For the middle of the month, we have a lot of information to go over. I'm happy to have you all here and appreciate you sharing your time with me. So let's just jump right on in and get to the agenda. We've got, of course, we have some new October credit card intro bonus offers. We have October transfer bonuses with a couple of new additions. A lot of differences on the October points and mile opportunities that we're definitely going to look at. And then we've got Marriott Bonvoy is adding 2,000 units to one of their programs, which should really end up doing a very good expansion for them that we'll talk about. Then what about the priority pass related to the Amex Platinum? There has been a reduction in its availability, in its use in Europe, in one of the countries that they expect to happen in both other countries. Will it happen here in the United States? We'll talk about that. Then we've got to talk about some reciprocity agreements that have been done with Marriott and Air Canada, as well as Hyatt and American. Some good, a lot bad, though, probably. So we'll look at that. Then we've got a very good deal of saving up to 35% at the Fairmont Hotels at select ones around the world. And it's all the way through spring break, March of 2025. So there, if you've been looking at them, this may be a deal for you to look at, and we'll talk about it. Then we have a fee waiver that is a new benefit that is on the Qatar Airway cards. We'll talk about that because there are some thresholds you have to reach to get to that, and we'll see if any of it's worth it. Then we have the ability to earn Hyatt points with Peloton when you are using Peloton at their hotels. We'll talk about that. That might be some points to get while you are trying to or staying in shape. And then we're going to talk about the Cheyenne Mountain Resort and how it's now moved from Wyndham to Hyatt under their Destinations by Hyatt, which is a pretty interesting location and lodging that provides a pretty good price for where it's located. And then we're going to talk about the Singapore spontaneous escapes that we have for this month. And there's a lot to look at, and especially if you're going to be in Asia, there's a lot of opportunities there, but we do have a few here in the United States that we'll talk about. And then we'll talk about, do you have interest in being an SAS Eurobonus Millionaire? There is a promotion that they're doing through the end of the year where if you meet the thresholds, you will literally get €1,000,000 bonus miles. We'll talk about that and see if you're adventurous enough to give it a shot. And then lastly, but definitely not the least, we got the new Alaska mileage plan. Now, we've obviously talked about the Alaska mileage plan as it relates to them merging with Hawaiian Airlines, but there are some things that have come out since yesterday about the program. Once again, as you can imagine, some good, some bad. And I want to make sure that if you've ever been interested in the program or you're already immersed in it, it's information that you'll definitely want to know about it. And we're going to talk about each and every one of the informations, and then you'll be able to make your own decision of how it may impact you. So let's go ahead and get started. So as far as the credit card offers ending soon, we're starting to get, as we get here in the middle of the month, a couple of items to keep in mind. The American Express Gold is still running its promotion since they did the white gold card. It's going through November 6th. And that is, of course, with 100,000 points and 20% back on statement credits up to $100 with $6,000 worth of spend in the first 6 months. The Amex Platinum, as you can imagine, is all over the place. I've seen it as high now, just today, as high as 175,000 points with that same $8,000 worth of spend in the first 6 months. The Delta Gold, the Delta credit cards are all going to be ending next week. So if you've had any interest or even considered getting a Delta SkyMiles credit card, whether it's personal or business, now is the time to look at pulling the trigger on it because of the fact that we've got such high welcome offers available. And I did a video talking about the mileage plan cards, well, SkyMiles cards from the personal side, But the business side is not that much different, and that's where my card is and my wife's card is at. If and I mentioned in the video, if you even fly round trip Delta once, it's seriously worth considering getting one of those cards, and I encourage you to take a look at that. Then we obviously have the Hilton Honors credit cards. We do have a long time to be able to work with those. Those go through January 8th of 2025. And we've got very good offers on business as well as personal credit cards for them. And as far as even the Aspire at 175,000 points with $6,000 worth of spend in the first 6 months, the very useful middle of the road Surpass is even 165,000 points with 3 month with $3,000 worth of spend in the first 6 months, and the Hilton Honors card with no annual fee, you still can get 100,000 points for $2,000 worth of spend in the first 6 months. So you don't have to be a loyalist to Hilton to potentially get a good welcome bonus offer out of this. And then we still have Bank of America with their Air France KLM World Elite MasterCard with their best welcome offer ever at 70,000 miles for $3,000 worth of spend in the first 90 days. And then Barclays still has those Wyndham credit cards with very good offers, all the way from 45,000 points for the base rewards earner to 75,000 points for the plus card. And then, of course, the business card, which a lot of people have always talked about being available at earning 40,000 points for $4,000 worth of spend in the first 90 days. And then you can even get another 40,000 points with spending $15,000 in the first 12 months. Those two-part tranches on almost any credit card you look at, the second one is normally not going to make the best sense unless there's something so valuable to those points, because normally you're going to be able to get better deals by getting another card from some other place. So those are the ones that we've got there. Chase has a number of credit cards that are there. We still have the Marriott Bonvoy Bold with the best offer ever. We've got the Marriott Bonvoy Boundless as well. We have the Disney credit cards, if you have any interest in that, for statement credits of $200 and $400. Aer Lingus, British Airways, and Iberia still has their 85,000 points for $5,000 worth of spend in the first 3 months. The Aeroplan card, which is sometimes I mentioned in the last live stream of a forgotten component of it, which is that 10% bonus on award points use. And so that one can be up to 100,000 miles that you can get on it. Once again, it's that two-part tranche of 75,000 miles for $4,000 worth of spend in the first 3 months, which is very good. But then you get only 25,000 miles if you spend $20,000 in the first 12 months. The Chase Sapphire Preferred is still running. I think it runs through the end of this month, where you're getting the same 60,000 points it normally has, but you're going to get $300 in Chase travel credit that you'll be able to use on this card. Now, it's not the same as the Sapphire Reserve, where you are free to use it in or out of the portal. The Chase Sapphire Preferred has to be used in the portal, but it's still a nice touch for something that is now actually has a better welcome bonus than the actual Sapphire Reserve. Then you have the Ink Unlimited, which is a business card, 90,000 points or $900 for $6,000 worth of spend in the first 3 months. And then, of course, the World of Hyatt credit card, personal card, 5 free nights for $4,000 worth of spend in the first 3 months. And you're getting those 5 free nights as category 1 through 4 as an option for you to use. It still has to be used within a year, so make sure you plan for it. But you can get some excellent outsized value when it comes to dealing with Hyatt in that fixed chart that you're dealing with. And then lastly, we have the City Advantage Platinum business credit card. That one is available with 75,000 miles. And the City Strata Premier, which is, while I'm still showing it as a current offer, it seems like it's going to be the permanent offer to compete with everyone else, but they still show it as a temporary type of bonus. And then let's take a look at the transfer bonuses that are available right now. So through November 10th, you've got 20% on Flying Blue KLM through AMEX. For Chase, you got 30% On the Avios cards, British Airways, Iberia, and Aer Lingus, 30% through October 31st. You've got a 50% transfer bonus to Marriott through November 15th. And then Virgin, which I just saw today, 40% through November 30th to 24. Now, most of these times when we talk about transfer bonuses, none of them are really groundbreaking where you're going to make a move on getting points or miles because the deal's so good if you don't have a plan for it. The Virgin ones are so versatile. And 40% is normally I've seen 30%. So 40% is a little higher for that. So if there is a plan for you to do that, that may be one you might want to look at, not to purchase and stash. These are what I would just call sweeteners. When you already have a potential travel going on, does that particular transfer offer help to enhance it? And then for City, we've got Avianca with 25% through October 19th. We have Etihad Global Bonus through October 31st. And it's a global bonus because this is directly through Etihad. It's not through City. So it's a bit delayed. You'll see the points in your account by November 15th to 24th for the bonus points. But that is available, and I'll have a link for that in the description. And then there's also a Qatar global bonus at the same time. The problem that I'm having with it is every link I'm finding for this is going to a page not found. And I've looked at some other blogs to see what links they've been using, and I've not seen one yet that is showing one that's working. I have been on it, but as of late last week, I didn't see it anymore or couldn't get to it. I'll continue to work on that. And then we've got City leading hotels of the world leaders club, 25% transfer bonus. And so that's 4-1 versus 5-1, which where it would normally be at. And that's going to run through October 19th. So that is fast approaching. Now, as far as the points and miles opportunities, a lot of them to cover. So let's just jump right in. First, we have the Accor Live Limitless. Registration is required by December 31st of 2024, and you have to book the stays before December 31st of 2024. Now, you'll earn 3x on stays in North and Central America at the Fairmont, the Sofitel, the Swissôtel, Novotel, Raffles, and there's more. I'll have a link for this in the description for you to get more details. You just have to stay at any of the participating hotels before January 31st, 2025. So it's a very nice multiplier, especially if you've got travel that you're already planning in any of those continents and countries. But I'll have the link for that for you to be able to look at that. Air France KLM is running through October 27th, and that one has as much as a 45% discount on if you're purchasing miles. So 4,000 to 10,000 miles if you're purchasing it, 35%, 12,000 to 22,000 miles, 40%, 24,000 to 100,000 miles is 45%. And if you're an elite member, you have unlimited miles that you can purchase in a year. If you're a non-elite member, the cap is 100,000 miles per year. Air Canada has a promotion running through November 18th with a 30% max discount on miles that you're purchasing. And that one is 10,000 to 19,000 points is 15%. 20,000 to 75,000 points is 20%. And 80,000 to 95,000 is 25%. And lastly, anything over 100,000 points is a 30% bonus. Now, the limit you can purchase in any single year is 1 million points, and the most you can do in any single transaction is 250,000 points. I'll have links for these as well. Then we have Choice Hotels. Registration is required. Stay 2+ consecutive nights, and you can earn 8,000 bonus points. Now, these are for qualifying stays from October 2nd through January 5th, and you can be able to use that 3x during the period. Now, it's not valid on reward nights, and it's as far as the ones that are not included: Woodspring, Mainstay, Everhome, Suburban Suites, as well as Ascend and all-inclusives are not included for this. But if you got a couple of nights to be able to do, there may be some bonus points there for you. Avianca has a sale that's going on, and it's on their awards, so not a purchasing of miles. So this is a 30% award discount. You must book by October 25th, so you have enough time to consider if any of this might work for you. And you need to travel by November 30th, so it's a very quick turnaround. It's for economy class, and the max amount of tickets you can buy with your awards for this promotion is 8. So there's a lot of different locations that you can travel to. I just picked out 3 of them, and I'll have a link for their site on this so that you can look more in depth to see if there may be something that works for you. So, like a Miami to Managua would only be 4,270 points. Going from Washington Dulles to San Jose would be not 4,880 points. And if you were going from JFK to San Salvador, you're talking about less than 6,000 miles that you're doing under Avianca. So I'll make sure I have a link for that. Going to be a lot of links in the description for all of these potential offers that could work for you. And then as far as Qatar, they're going to have up to a 60% bonus. Now you do have to book by October 19th, so that is very fast approaching. If you are basically purchasing 3,000 to 10,000 avios, you'll get 35%. 11,000 to 20,000 avios will get you 45%. And then 21,000 to 250,000 avios gets you 60%. And at that number, you're looking at 1.43 cents per point. It's still slightly higher than the kind of baseline that most people look at 1.25. But as I always tell you, these cents per points and baselines are just to create a baseline. There's nothing you have to determine what is going to be the most important for you. And you may have a redemption in there that'll get you way more the value on it. Now, members must have at least one Avios in your account. So you can't do the purchase if you don't already have one in your account. So keep that in mind before you look to potentially make any purchases. And then members can buy, gift, or transfer up to 250,000 Avios per calendar year. So even if you wanted to transfer this to someone you know and love, you're able to do that. And then we have Copa Airlines, which was a new one that I just saw today. Up to a 50% bonus. You must book by November 8th. I'll have a link for that as well. 3,000 to 9,000 miles, you get 30%. 10,000 to 14,000 miles gets you 40%. And 15,000 to 100,000 miles will get you a 50% discount. Now that will get you at 2 cents per mile. Still a bit, that one is, they have a fixed system for them. Now the maximum purchase amount is 100,000 miles. And as I mentioned on there, that it's a fixed award chart. And an example you could do if you were flying Copa, US to Panama is 15,000 miles economy and 30,000 miles business. So that may be something of interest. And then IHG, I just saw that just before I got on tonight, up to an 80% bonus. In that, the cap of that bonus varies depending upon what you get with the luck of the draw of what you get with your account. So make sure you log into your account, look at purchasing points, and you'll see the promotion and you'll see what your cap is for this. And the max purchase is 150,000 points, and the deadline is November 1st of 2024. So you definitely still have time. And then we have Wyndham, which is nearing its end of its promotion of October 21st. Purchasing over 3,000 points will get you 25% towards your purchase price. And that'll bring the cents per point very close to what most people value Wyndham points at. The annual purchase cap is 100,000 points. And I mentioned Vacasa because I think that's a really good deal in a lot of cases. It's rentals, it's not their hotels. 15,000 or 30,000 points per bedroom, and as low as $146 for the purchase price. So once again, I'll have links for all of this in the description so that you have easy access to it. So let's get to the stories of this week. We've got Marriott Bonvoy adding 2,000 more Homes and Villas. So their program, this is for their homes and villas. These are vacation homes that are under their program. You now have an additional 2,000 options that is through a partnership that they did with Vacay Home Connect. So obviously, very simple. More opportunities are always going to be great for any of us. It is a great option, but it is not normally cheap for the locations that they have. One example I saw was Ski Week at Whistler in January is $3,492, but that is 624,000 Bonvoy points. That's a lot. And even if you're looking at a week in Maui in this January, you're looking at $4,268 or 762,000 Bonvoy points. So that is something to be able to look at if you have an interest in, if you've got Bonvoy points, this may be something that you might want to look at. And then we have the American Express Platinum Priority. And are we going to see a reduction? That is the question that we have. So Loyalty Lobby, which is a blog that I was reading, was reporting that the Priority Pass policy is changing in Europe, and they're starting with Spain. So the Priority Pass change started October 24th, or is starting October 24th. And so Platinum Basic members will receive a cap of up to 20 visits per calendar year. And so as they transition into this, from October 24th to December 31st, you'll have 20 Priority Pass visits allotted. And then for the year of 2025, that is when the entire year you have 20 visits you'll be able to take. Now, I was not familiar with the differences of the Platinum card from that is being issued through the EU, of the European Union. But according to Loyalty Lobby, this is just another negative of that EU issued card. It has a poor rewards program. It also has a 3% foreign transaction fee on non-euro transactions, which makes it less desirable there in the EU. Chase and Capital One cards do not have any similar lounge restrictions that they noted at this point. Could something like that happen here in the United States? It's possible. I think it's something to look at. Obviously, the beauty of having American Express is that you have a lot of different options between Priority Pass, Plaza Premium, as well as the Centurion lounges, Lufthansa in select locations that you could be able to look at. So there's a lot of different opportunities for that. So not necessarily something on the horizon, but we do need to kind of keep an eye on what may be happening there in Europe. So let's make sure to take a look at that. I want to say hi to Matt Clausen. Appreciate you stopping through, sir. Matt, excellent credit card creator I've mentioned before, does a lot of news on the daily, or at least every couple of days, and provides tidbits just to make sure to get you information. Really good site to be able to look at that. For the next topic, we are talking about, we've got a couple of reciprocity programs that are going on. So this one is with Marriott and Air Canada. So what is going on is that they've already had a relationship. Members could basically transfer their points from the Aeroplan program for Air Canada to the Marriott Bonvoy and vice versa. Well, we now have a reciprocal elite status between the two programs, which is a natural move to happen, but let's see what the details will tell us. You just need to link the two accounts, of course. And so if you have Aeroplan 50K, 75K, or Super Elite, you'll get Marriott Gold status. And if you have Marriott Titanium or Ambassador, you'll get the Aeroplan 25K program. Now, this status is not a short-term match. You will maintain this reciprocal status for as long as you have the status with the original one. So if you've had the Marriott Titanium and you already have it, as long as you have Titanium, you'll have the match to the 25K. So that's nice that it's not short term. A few thoughts in regards to this. So Aeroplan to Marriott Gold is not that exciting. Most of us know that if you have the American Express Platinum, you have Marriott Gold. So would have been nice if it was a little bit better. You don't get a whole lot with Marriott Gold, but it's okay. I think that it's a different story when you're talking about Marriott and going to Aeroplan as far as the 25K. So if you've got 25K status, here's a few things that come with it. You get 2 complimentary check bags. You got a limited benefit of, I'm sorry, you get a benefit when you're flying United to have Premier Access Align and Group 2 boarding. And if it's Lufthansa, you get business class priority check-in. And then you get to select two benefits, either 2 Maple Leaf Lounge passes, 5 E upgrade credits, or 25% bonus points. That's a lot to be able to get for just being able to match. So if you have titanium or ambassador, I definitely encourage you to go ahead and look to match. I will have links in the description for both ways, whether you're an Aeroplan person getting Marriott or Marriott getting Air Canada's status. So I'll have links for that in the description. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of links in the description to get you where you need to go. And then we now have Hyatt and American Airlines with their reciprocity. So we've obviously know that they've had a relationship all the way since back to 2019. Currently, if you're an Advantage Gold, Platinum, Platinum Pro, or Executive Platinum, you can earn 1 bonus mile per dollar that you spend at Hyatt. And if you are a Discoverist, Explorist, or a Globalist, you can earn 1 point per dollar spent on American flights. Unfortunately, that ends as of January 1st of 2025. And so as of January 2nd, what they're going to do is they're going to basically have kind of a tier layout. So if you're American to a Hyatt, if you're at 40,000 loyalty points, you then have the ability to purchase a category 1 to 4 certificate at 25,000 miles. And if once you get to 125,000 loyalty points with American, you then have the opportunity to get a category 1 to 7 certificate at 65,000 miles. And then as of March 1st of 2025, the World of Hyatt Awards will be a choice at thresholds. So at 100,000 loyalty points with American, you can select Discoverist. If you have 175,000 and 250,000 loyalty points, you can select Explorist. And then if you are at 400,000, 500,000, and 750,000 loyalty points, you get category 1 to 4 certificate. And then lastly, 1, 3, and 5 million loyalty points will get you category 1 to 7 certificate. Now, as of January 1st, also, you're going to have flip to the Hyatt. So if you have 20 or 30 elite nights, you'll be able to select 2 preferred seat coupons on American. And if you're at 40 or 50 nights, you can select 2 main cabin extra seat coupons. And if it's at 70, 80, or 90 elite nights, you can select Advantage Gold status for 1 year. And then if you're at 100 elite nights, you can select Advantage Platinum status for 1 year. Now, Explorers and Globalists can purchase status with American by the day. So if you have Explorist or Globalist, you can purchase Advantage Gold for 5,000 points for 1 day of that status, 8,000 points for Platinum, and then Platinum Pro is 12,000. Overall, this looks more negative than good. My hope is that this is something that will evolve over time. I think that the ability to have earned points in miles in a reciprocal way was something that worked out really nice. I enjoyed that benefit. This going away and getting this is not something that thrills me at all. But I'm curious of what you all's thoughts are, especially if you are already immersed in it. Of how do you feel about these changes? And so, Matt, I said, I'm not sure how I feel about the changes. I agree. I'm actually pretty sure, I'm confident I do not like it. And so that's why I think that, and I'm a person that does not generate a lot of miles and points in this particular area. So I'm hoping that there's a lot more people like me and us and that they have to do something to bring that back. This is obviously them trying to do a little bit of savings by doing this type of thing. Obviously, there was a lot of points and miles flying around. Now, this really kind of tightens it up. So we'll have to see what this ends up looking like, but definitely not something that I'm in favor of. And then we have Fairmont Hotels, where you can save up to 35% through May of 2025. And I think this might be a pretty good deal if you've got plans for travel and there is a participating Fairmont nearby. So the savings starts at 25%, but you can get an additional 10% with by being an all Accor Live Limitless member. And it doesn't cost you to become a member, so there's no reason to miss out on that additional 10%. Now, this includes participating hotels located worldwide. Stays must be booked by March 30th of 2025. A few hotels that are participants, you've got the Fairmont Copley Plaza in Boston, the Fairmont Kealani in Maui, the Fairmont Mayakoba in the Riviera Maya, and then the Savoy in London. Now, this is under their program called the Fairmont Endless Winter Memories. I'll have a link for this website where you'll be able to see all of the participating hotels by country. It even provides a little, provides you a little bit of information as far as what's the maximum you can do at each hotel because they are different. So, like an example, that Kealani Maui, you'll enjoy up to 25% off with the breakfast. Now, that's 25% before the additional 10%. So, it's really a maximum of 35%. But if you stay at the Fairmont Pittsburgh, the max is 20%. Add on the 10, now you're looking at 30% with breakfast. A lot of these did have breakfast come with them from skimming through them, but each hotel does have some differences. So make sure to take, if you're interested, make sure to take a look at the link in the description. It'll take you and you'll be able to find all of the specific hotels around the world that has this. So now let's talk about the Qatar Airway cards and their new feature of an award fee waiver. Now, the award fee waiver is effective immediately if you've got the Qatar cards, and it's for both of them, whether it's the Visa Signature Card at $99 a year or the Infinite at $499. Now, to get an idea of what we're talking about as far as these fees that might come with the award flights with Qatar, taxes and fees could be $300 roughly for economy to as much as $600 with business in first class. So there, if you're a person that flies Qatar a lot, there may be some merit to this. Now, the bookings must be done on Qatar Airways through their system. You can't buy it through a third party and then seek reimbursement of the fee waiver. It won't apply. But you've got to be able to qualify for this. So in the first year, you have to have $15,000 worth of spend to qualify for this benefit in year one. For the second year and beyond, you have to spend $25,000 to qualify. Now, kind of where will you be looking at for a break even of this? If you took 2 business flights and got charged $600 of award fees and got to $1,200, then based on that $25,000 worth of spend, now you're getting to a percentage that might be acceptable. So once again, you have to know of how much you would plan on flying Qatar. Although if you've got the credit card, you probably are someone that is going to be or already flying Qatar more than a few times. Now, this could save you $600 for every award flight you take. There is no cap on this, so that's a plus. One thing to keep in mind if you are looking at these credit cards, the Qatar Airways Infinite at $499 is not a cheap card. But if you're traveling, there's a really sweet part to this, especially if you're based in the United States. So you have Instant Qatar Airways Gold Elite that comes with the card. That equals One World Sapphire, which will then equal for you access to the American Airlines Admirals Club, even when you're flying domestically. And if you to get that access, and if you got the City Advantage Executive Card, that would cost you $595 to have access to the Admirals Club here in the United States. Well, period. But we've seen where if you are dealing with these foreign issued cards, that there's been some cases where you've been able to. We saw this with British Airways of a promotion they were doing a few months back, where the benefit of being an American Airlines flyer, that you're getting access to lounge even when flying domestically. So if there's any interest in it, I'll make sure to have that link for that. But that may be something of interest if you're a person that flies Qatar a lot. And I see Matt said is intriguing, but my goodness, the spend required. It is. Once again, though, I guess if their view is if you've got that card, you are probably going to be doing a lot of spending on it, or else why even have it outside of the fact of what I mentioned as far as the lounge. But we'll see what happens with that because it is hefty. Maybe we might see them come down a little bit depending on how new credit card sales go or people maintaining their credit cards. And then let's talk about earning points with Hyatt on Peloton. This was something that was talked about a few months back. And so you can earn points while you're getting in or staying in shape when you're staying at Hyatt. So if you link your Peloton account to your Hyatt account, you can earn 100 points per completed workout on up to 10 qualifying workouts of at least 20 minutes per month at more than 700 participating Hyatt hotels around the world. And that will allow you to earn up to 12,000 points per year. So if you're a person that stays at Hyatt a lot, it's a nice sweetener because 12,000 points, if you were going to the Hyatt places, the Hyatt houses, and I mean, you can get multiple days potentially at some of those places, depending upon being on off peak. Now, in addition to the workouts, if you have a World of Hyatt credit card, you now can earn for a period of time 2x if you're purchasing any Peloton equipment or subscriptions directly through Peloton. And then for a limited time, World of Hyatt members can get $100 off of the Peloton bikes, rows, and treads, and $25 off Peloton guide. Now, new Peloton members can also try the membership for extended period of a 60-day trial on the Peloton App One membership. So if you've had any interest in regards to it, you can look at that. If you were looking at purchasing Peloton equipment, make sure to see if you have any Chase credit cards, especially the Sapphire Reserve or the Sapphire Preferred, but there may be other ones. There is a much higher multiplier that is available to you with buying Peloton, I think through March 31st. I actually just did a video, or at least finished one, but it'll come out in the next few days, where I did a very deep look at the comparison of the three biggest travel credit cards, which is obviously the American Express Platinum, the Venture X, and the Sapphire Reserve. And for me, I've in my household, we've got a couple of them Amex Platinums, one Capital One Venture X, and so now I'm also looking at our Chase Sapphire Preferreds and would we go to the reserves? So I talk about that in that video, which will probably come out either Sunday or Monday. And then let's talk about the Cheyenne Mountain Resort. And it is one that was actually under Wyndham, but is now transferred to Destination by Hyatt. So this Cheyenne Mountain Resort, as I mentioned, was part of a Dolce program under Wyndham and now is under Destination by Hyatt. It is in the Rocky Mountains and is just a short drive from downtown Colorado Springs. 316 guest rooms and suites. Now, most offer private balconies with excellent views of the mountains or a 35-acre lake that's out there. They've got 5 swimming pools, 16 tennis courts, 8 pickleball courts, and an 18-hole golf course designed by Pete Dye. You also have 3 restaurants, a spa, and a fitness center. There is a lot there, and I'll have a link for some of the pictures. It is a beautiful facility that they've got there. Now, the resort is pet and family friendly, so you can take whoever you want there. And now one thing is, although it's a very nice location, it is not a ski resort. And when we look at these pricing, you can easily see that it's not. It's going to be a category 5 hotel. So you're looking at 17,000 Hyatt points off peak, 20,000 points standard, and then 23,000 points peak. Now, the rates only start at $139 per night, and they stay pretty reasonable for most of the year. So before you would throw points at this one, this would be one that you'll want to do a little bit of math on it to see if the points are worth using, but probably mostly not. But for a facility like that at that type of dollar that has all of that features there, it may be one, if you're in the area, that you may want to consider. And then let's take a look at the Singapore Spontaneous Escapes. Now, I think we've touched on this probably a couple of times with Singapore Escapes, and they've got some really nice deals, but it does come with some restrictions that we definitely got to talk about. So this is a monthly sale that they have, and it basically allows Krisflyer members to book select flights at a discount while redeeming Krisflyer miles. Now, the bookings must be made by October 31st. The travel has to happen in the month of November, and that's why they call it spontaneous escapes. There's not much planning you can do with this, and you got to be ready to turn around the following month and take your trip. Now, this is while availability lasts. So we don't know how much of it is on each flight that is part of this. So don't wait till the end if you're interested, but I will have a link where you can be able to look at some of the options and see if anything works for you. There is a significant list if you're flying within Asia. What I will be talking about is if you're flying from the United States, of what's available. So for the economy flights, you've got Frankfurt to JFK is only 17,500 miles. What I have here in the parentheses is the blackout dates. And so unfortunately, blackout dates is November 1st through the 30th. Doesn't really give you anything to be able to do. Then you've got Singapore to San Francisco at 29,400. That is only got 3 days of blackout from November 28th through the 30th. You've got San Francisco back to Singapore, so the reverse. That's November 1st through the 23rd. So very small window of when about flying from San Francisco to Singapore at 29,400. Singapore to Seattle, 29,400 as blackout dates spread throughout the month. Singapore to LAX, 29,400 again, with some different periods in there, of course. You have premium economy, but there's only one, and it's to and from Singapore to LAX, 52,500 in premium economy. Very nice deal there. There's also one nice business class flight, and it's their fifth freedom flight. Frankfurt to JFK, 56,700 in business class. You've got blackout dates of November 5th, 14th through the 16th, and the 30th. As I mentioned, there are things you have to factor in, though. You basically can select, make sure when you're searching, select redeem flight option so that you can get right to it. And then it will clearly show you if there's any promo awards under this particular program available when you look. The fares are non-refundable. So if you find something and it fits, make sure that there is a very low likeliness that you're going to need to cancel because you will not get a refund on it. But I will have a link for this for you to get more information on this once again in the description. Now, this was a very interesting one I was reading. Do you want to become a SAS Eurobonus millionaire? Well, you can do it, but it's going to take some work. So SAS is Scandinavian Airlines, and they are now moving from Star Alliance to SkyTeam. And as part of their move, they wanted to offer up a program, a quick program. You can earn up to 1 million of their miles by completing this. What it is if you fly 5 different SkyTeam airlines between now and December 31st, you will get 10,000 euro bonus points. If you fly 10 different SkyTeam airlines, you'll get 100,000 bonus points. And if you fly 15 of them between now and the end of the year, you will automatically get 1 million bonus points. Now, the number of airlines is based on the operating carrier, not who you ticket with. So what that means is if you are able to get a ticket through Scandinavian Air, but you are doing different airlines on that same itinerary, you're not only getting the one carrier that you ticketed with, it is truly everyone that you are aboard flying with. So that can make things a little bit better. So as I mentioned on here, this means you can get credit for multiple airlines on a single ticket if each leg is operated by a different carrier. The award period began October 8th, runs through December 31st. Now, the eligible flights do include both paid and award tickets. Now, flights booked prior to the award period, but occurred during the award period are eligible. So you don't have to rebook anything. You don't have to do anything after this period. It's all about when you took the flight. Now, I was reading about one person that was speculating of how they could do it, because I believe that while they're talking about 15, I think there's 17, but there's something about two of the airlines that you can't really take. So you literally are taking essentially every SkyTeam member. And this person was talking about what they could do in the United States and then Europe and then Asia to make it work. So if you've ever thought about being a millionaire of any type, this may be one you can do if you got a lot of time and a little bit of points or money on hand. But I will have a link for this for you to have more information. So now let's talk about the new Alaska mileage plan. There's been a lot of information that has come out about this that I want to make sure to go over with you. And once again, whether you are a person that is a mileage plan member or if you've considered it, there's a lot of changes. And let's take a look. Let's just jump right in. So let's skip the first section that I've got there, and let's just drill right into I always like to take the Band-Aid off and start with the negatives. So let's just jump right in and talk about the checked bag benefit. Currently, if all Alaska Elite members get 2 free checked bags when you fly with Alaska, and MVP Gold 75K and 100K get 3 checked bags. In One World Ruby and Sapphire members get 2 bags, and Emerald gets 3 bags. Starting in 2026, MVP will only get 1 check bag. So it's not a major issue, but it's one to reference because that's the initial elite level that will go down to 1. But we do have more to talk about. The mileage earning for elites will change as of January 1st. If you're MVP, you would normally get a 50% bonus on your mileage. It's going to drop to 25%. And if you're MVP Gold, it's going to be cut in half from 100% to 50%. MVP Gold will go from 125% down to 100%. And only MVP Gold 100K will not experience any changes to the program, and you'll remain at 150% bonus. Now, as far as the lounge benefits, we also see some changes. If you're an elite member, you would currently get a $100 discount on your membership for the Alaska Lounge. As of January 31st of 2025, that will change and that benefit ends. It's now become part of the milestone moments that we'll touch on shortly. And if you're MVP Gold 75K, you were presently getting 4 passes that you could gift to others. That is going to end in 2025. You won't get any day passes. So if you've got that status, that is going to definitely be going away. Now, if you're an MVP 75K member, you currently receive a 50,000 mile bonus for those once you get to MVP Gold 75K status. That will actually end as well in 2025. Those are the negatives. So some are a little significant, especially the lounge. That was some nice bonuses that you could get. Now let's talk about the pluses, though. So new experiences. There's going to be an exclusive program that they call Extras, where you can redeem miles for experiences and events. There's more details to come, but we've seen this with Hilton points. We've seen it with other different entities that have uh, curated something for their hotel or their lodging where you could be able to see something, destinations and such. So, not a surprising one, but that's something we're seeing now. Global getaways. Now, this first appeared this year and was done on a quarterly basis to provide you discounted award travel to what they would consider fabulous and far flung locales. Now, they have pledged that we will see more opportunities and this program will continue. From looking at a few of the ones that have been in the past, this could be a really nice spot to be able to utilize some points, some miles on this. Then let's talk about the multi-carrier awards. If you currently, if you book an award ticket, like let's say that has a flight on British Airways, you can connect to that. You can connect to that flight with an Alaska Airlines flight, but you cannot uh, get there on an American Airlines flight. So there was a problem with the multi-carrier setup. Now what will happen is this rule goes away. Now, this will be phased in. So the function will be that you'll start with multi-carrier awards in Europe. That will get rolled out first. And then it'll all expand over the course of 2025 throughout the world. But we don't have a timeline for that. But if you are a person that has done this, been looking to do multi-carrier awards, you will now be able to get that at some point in 2025. And then partner flights. This is a bit different. In disregard what I said currently, I made a mistake on that. So what is going to happen now is you're going to have paid flights with partners, and it's going to be at 100%. No, I'm sorry. It's going to be a different one. So for this one, paid flights with partners are at 100% of the miles flown, as long as it's not basic economy when bookings are through Alaska. So you get 150% bonus if you're in premium economy, a 250% bonus in business, and an up to 350% bonus in first class. What is going to be different now is that if Alaska wants you to book those flights through them. So they're going to reduce the amount. You won't get as much of a bonus if you're booking through the partner. So if you're booking through the partner, the max that you're going to be getting is 150%, and that is for first class, 125% for business, 100% for premium economy, 50% for economy, and then 25% for basic economy. Makes perfect sense. They want you to book through them for these partner flights and not do it through the actual partner. And with that kind of difference in numbers, that can easily make sense and make you change how you would do that. Then we have upgrade changes, and this is going to be them focusing more on giving benefit to the long-term loyalty member. So if you are a million miler and you rank if you're in the same status as others, you will get the bump on being selected for an upgrade. So if you're in one tier, by being a million miler, you jump over everybody. And then guests of elite travelers will be eligible for upgrades as long as that person is traveling on the same reservation. And then members with upgrade certificates will have priority over those that have status that are seeking space available upgrades. So if you've got their certificates, you will be given first priority over them. And then we've got those milestone moments, and we're seeing a lot more entities kind of doing these milestones. And so very quickly, you've got 10,000 EQMs. If you pick, you get to pick one between bonus miles, a complimentary meal for your flight, complimentary Wi-Fi pass, MVP status for a trip, double miles with a non-air partner, and notice I say non-air, or an upgrade to the next on your next Avis rental. If you have 30,000 EQMs, you'll get to pick one with slight changes: 2,500 bonus miles, $25 off of a future Alaska flight, 4 Wi-Fi passes, MVP Gold status for a trip, and then $100 off of that Alaska Lounge membership. Remember, I said that that was going to become a milestone and not one that they were just going to give. Then you have milestone moments for 55,000 EQMs, 5,000 bonus miles, 10,000 miles off of an extras redemption, which we talked about earlier. You could gift an MVP for a trip, complimentary lounge for a day pass, and 2 upgrade certificates. And then you've got 85,000 EQMs. You get to pick 2 now between 15,000 bonus miles, 25,000 miles off of an extras redemption, gift MVP Gold for a trip, 2 complimentary lounge day passes, 2 upgrade certificates. You can nominate someone for MVP status. And in this one particular case, you now get 10,000 elite qualify miles. You're able to roll those over. And then lastly, if you're at 100,000, 200,000, or 250,000 EQMs, you get to pick 2, which is very similar to the 85,000 miles, between 15,000 bonus miles, 25,000 miles off of extras redemption, 2 complimentary day passes, 2 upgrade certificates, and 10,000 elite qualifying miles that you're able to roll over. You're also going to have new ways to earn EQMs, and this is for a person that doesn't fly Alaska a lot. This could be something good. So you now get EQMs for your award travel redemptions based upon the distance you fly by the mile. You also get credit card spending. You can earn 1 EQM for every $3 you spend on your Alaska Airlines co-branded card, up to 30,000 EQMs. Now, of course, we know that Bilt has their relationship with Alaska Airlines on the personal card, and you're already going to get a higher multiplier if you choose to pay your rent with your personal card. You do have to pay the processing fee for that. But if you were trying to get more award points, that would be something. And then, of course, this could be an option to get you those EQMs if you were looking at that as a route of doing it. Now, the beauty of their relationship is you can flip back and forth. You don't have to just always use your personal Alaska Airlines card to do the rent. And then for travel partners, you can earn 1,000 EQMs for every 3,000 miles earned from non-airline partners. And then you have those rollover EQMs, which we talked about in some of those latter milestone moments. So I'll have a link for the travel partners that are part of Alaska's mileage plan so that you can be able to look at that and know for sure what might work. So that may want to make sure there's no questions or concerns or anything to cover, but want to thank you for so much for listening and watching this. I'll make sure to get this broken up into chapters as soon as possible. Thank you all. Have a great evening.